This is Donna. I'm going to show you the double crochet stitch. Chain 3 more stitches than you want to end up with because we're going to skip the first 3 stitches next to the hook, which will be our height stitch of our next row. So we're going to yarn over and skip the first 3 next to the hook. So we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, insert our hook in the top of the V of the 4th stitch. See, all of our V's are facing us. So insert hook at the top of the V of the 4th stitch. Yarn over and pull through. I have 3 yarns on the hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. And then once more, yarn over and pull through 2. Now, do this until you're an expert or until you're making sure you're not dropping stitches. Mark that first stitch of every row. That way on the way back, you don't accidentally drop it and then your work gets skinnier and skinnier. So I would recommend you do that until you're pretty good at this. So again, yarn over, insert your hook in the top of the V of the chain stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through just 2, yarn over and pull through the remaining 2. Again, there we go, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm using a bigger hook than normal and I think it's weight 5 yarn, a little bit heavier so you can see what's going on. I have one last stitch. So yarn over, insert in the top of the V, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, 2. And notice when I pull through, my hook's always facing toward my work so it doesn't catch. Glides. Okay? Yarn over and pull through 2. So I started with 8. I should have 5 now because remember we skipped first 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is that first stitch. I marked it because sometimes it wants to blend over on the side and it's a little hard to realize we have to work that stitch. So to start the next row, turn your work counterclockwise, chain 3, 1, 2, and on the last chain, I pull up my hook just a little bit. 3, just not too much, just a little. And this is going to be our first stitch actually. Remember? Half double crochet and up, our height stitches count as the first stitch. So I'm going to mark it so I don't drop it on the way back. And you can just use a colored paper clip. So yarn over. And I'm not going to work this first stitch. Now if your pattern says work in the first stitch next to the hook, go ahead and do it. There's always creativity in needlework. So normally I'm not going to work this first stitch, the one connected to the chain, unless the pattern says so. So I'm going to skip to the second one, pick up both pieces of the V, yarn over, pull through, and again, just like before, 2 and 2. Go real quick and show you one more time how to start that new row. 2 and 2. Yarn over, insert, pull through, 2 and 2. See, there's my stitch I have to work in. If you didn't have that marker, it might be a little easier to skip it, especially if you're using a smaller yarn and needle. It's a little obvious with this size. So yarn over, insert, pull through, 2 and 2. So I'm going to remove my marker. Now I should still have 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Turn your work counterclockwise. Chain 3, 1, 2, and on the third, pull up the yarn just a little bit. There, so it's not a tight stitch. And again, that is our first stitch of the next row. So I'm going to mark it. There. And if you feel you don't need to do that, then feel free to skip it. So yarn over, skip that first stitch, the one that has the height stitch attached. Insert, pick up both pieces of the V of the second stitch, yarn over, pull through, 2 and 2. Just go down to the row here, 2 and 2. Oh, I don't think I yarned over. Here we go. You can always recover. Crochet is very easy to pull out the stitch and fix. So 2 and 2. Last stitch. I'm glad I had it marked. It's a little hard to see sometimes because you have to think about it. The prior stitches sort of make your last stitch tighter. So let me go ahead and remove this. Yarn over. Put my hook under both pieces of the V of that stitch. There we go. Yarn over, pull through. 2 and 2. And always have the hook facing towards your work when you pull through so it's nice and smooth. So now I still have 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am not dropping stitches. My work's staying nice and square. The stitches normally aren't this airy. It's because I'm using oversized needle and yarn so you can see the stitches as good as possible. I hope this is helpful to get you started on the double crochet stitch. Thank you.